Choose now bright red, very bright, vivid red. Fill the whole space with that, the whole space with that. And very pale green. Carry on, don't think too much. Now on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe imagine that's at 10, keep going, that's at 10. Start to bring it down to 6, where 6 has more human quality. Take the sounds into a made-up language, give it a feeling. Italian, Russian, Spanish.
I think the first ever lesson we had with Ken was so brilliant. He walked in and unlike the other teachers, seemingly had no idea what he was doing. Just kind of walked in and went, "Oh, just do what do you want to do today?" And we were saying, "Well, I don't know." We were kind of thinking that you were going to teach us something. And Ken was like, "Oh, well, I'm just going to go and get a coffee. I'll come back in 10 minutes and just put something together." And walked out, and leaving us with slightly bemused looks. And then came back 10 minutes later, and we did some absolutely horrific piece of improvisational drama. And then he kind of took charge of the lesson and said that this is what this lesson is about.
We talk about the imagination as being a muscle, perhaps the most important muscle in the actor's body. And Ken, he really trains that muscle of the imagination, I think, in the students.
Find a partner and just talk about food you like cooking, food you like eating. I'll talk you through it, and we'll just see I want you to see what happens to the voice, the language itself, the facial expressions, what you do with the body as we go through those. So we start with the gestures down here around the thighs. Off you go.
I really like carbs.
Yeah, I like
Okay, now to the guts. So lift it up higher. How does that change?
Yeah, I love fish.
New York and stuff.
And now to the heart. Now to the heart. The heart.
Like a massive chicken.
And now to the head. Now up to the head.
He's a vain, selfish, precious child.
Good. Okay. Good. Fine. What do you find? What do you discover?
It's good when it's completely justified, but when your attention is on what your arms are doing.
Okay. So what does that tell you?
Justify.
Because it must always be truthful. As an audience, we must never see the exercise. We must never be aware of your technique. Yeah? So you learn your technique in order to make that invisible. So if the thought is strong enough, then the gesture will be will be completely natural. If it's not strong enough, you'll look like a coat hanger, doing these gestures, and it will be all mechanical.
He's also incredibly potent at empowering them to believe that they can make work by themselves.
The thing I'll never forget about Guildhall is the cross-dressing exercise, which is where the girls dress up as men and the men dress up as women, and we have a 3-hour, I think it was about 3-hour improvisation, and it's all about kind of finding the virtuoso in you and finding the flair in you, and that's what you need as an actor. It's not enough just to be a good solid actor. You need to find out what makes you special, and Ken's all about what makes you special as an actor. And I don't know if any other drama schools offer what Ken offers in terms of finding a spark in you.
Day 2 all. Glad to see you looking so well.
Okay, all right, good. So What do you find? What do you discover?
There was a moment if I went straight to hug B, it would have been inappropriate. But we started on the hands, and then it kind of it got to the point where it was appropriate.
So that tells a story for the audience.
Yeah.
There's a growing relationship, or they're more at ease with each other.
His training is very broad in that it's about, I think, giving them the belief that they can survive in what is a challenging environment.
Well, we had classes just in the first term with Wyn Jones.
What we did with Wyn was a very interesting kind of acting technique or acting method, which is kind of called look, move, speak, and new move on a new thought. And basically about, it's, you know, although it's a technique, it's about finding the spontaneity in acting.
Martin kind of teaches a lesson called acting technique, and it starts in the first year, and we work through Stanislavski from beginning to the end, and it kind of prepares us for the level of detail required in acting, and it's a huge amount of detail. If you're playing a character, the work that has to go in before the first day of a rehearsal.
We also did a lot of comedy. You know, Martin's a king of comedy, and you know, I don't think I'll ever forget, you know, things he taught us about kind of double takes, and didn't do a very good one there, but it's much better than that. But comedy was a big thing we learned with Martin.
But they're the acting lessons, but on the timetable. But in terms of learning about acting, it always happens for me when you're rehearsing a project. You know, you learn about acting as you rehearse. I do anyway, and you learn by watching people. I've learnt most here by watching 24 other people make mistakes and be brilliant. And you learn about acting through other people's journeys, and as well as your own. And